it was like, you know, when y'all passed, it was the same shit. Like, damn, should we continue doing this, or, you know, should we let it go? So, you know, when we speak about Pac, you know, Yacht in the same breath is everything we do without even saying their name is trying to honor them dudes and you know, make a strong finish to this outlaw shit, man. You know what I mean?
Yep. Now we got 2 questions from that era, and then we're gonna move on to the album, all right? Now,
yeah.
It's for one, I like to make it clear to everybody what was the situation behind Yaki's death, because you know the streets is talking and they saying, well, Yaki saw who shot Pac, and it was all kind of crazy stuff going on. What exactly happened, you know, for Yaki to meet his untimely demise? What was that about?
Nigga who he knew, they was fucking playing with guns in the projects, and however they went down, all high and shit, and however it went down, only God knows. Somehow it went down, you know what I'm saying? But what I can say is nothing. That's how that shit went down.
All right. Now, one last thing from that era, and we going on that. You know, a lot of you guys are from Jersey and from the East Coast. You know, how did the perception that Pac was shitting on the East Coast sit with you? You know, he might have had a beef with Bad Boy, but again, he had strong ties with, you know, Duck Down. But, you know, for the most part, the fans is like, yo, why you shitting on New York? Why you shitting on the East Coast?
And that's the thing. He wasn't, Pac is from New York. You know what I mean? So, you know, he wasn't never shitting on New York. He was shitting on who he had problems with, and just so happened to be, you know, some people from New York. You know what I mean? So, you know, that was the media putting it out there as an East versus West thing, which it was a Tupac versus whoever Pac was riding on at the motherfucking time. You know what I mean? So it was never, you know, all of us is from the East Coast. So how could it be a East Coast, West Coast thing? I'm the only person who was born in California out of the Outlawz. I was born in L.A. and was raised in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? So we all from the East Coast. You feel me? So it wasn't never that. You know what I mean? And all the East Coast homies, all our niggas, the whole fucking Jersey was on some L.A.
They
shit.
love
Pac. We ride with Pac. It wasn't about no coast. It was about who niggas was riding with. You know what I'm saying?
We went to MTV Awards in New York when that shit was jumping off, and I guarantee you it was about 150 to 200 Jersey niggas, New York niggas with us. So they love Pac.
Period.
All right. Now, we stand here, and you're talking about perfect timing. Now, aside from the symmetry of being released on the 15th anniversary of Pac's death, what makes this perfect time? Why is this the right time for this album to come out?
I think with the state of, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you fine.
I think with the state of music and hip hop, you know, if you pay attention to what the game and what the streets are saying, you know, they pretty much begging for something real and some substance in the game. And I think we represent the epitome of that. So to sum it all up, it's the perfect time for some real soldiers with a real history, with a real message to step to the forefront of this game. And nobody and no other rap group or no other, you know, artist in the world embody that to me more than us. You know what I mean? All the trials and tribulations we've been through, you know, from losing 2 members to death to, you know, another 2 members, you know, not being in the group no more, to us just even being able to be here to give you this interview, you know, just being alive, period. You know what I mean? Because it was at a point where we all felt like, you know, we could damn near die or we was ready to die. You know what I mean? So, you know, as men, we buckled down and got past that shit, and we here, and it's the perfect time for some real shit in the game. You know what I mean? And you know, the streets is co-signing that like a motherfucker, man. You know what I mean?
How scary is fame? You know, you rhyming, you know, you in the studio, that's just y'all. But then you get out in the street, and you walk in the streets with Pac, you walking with Death Row, and all of a sudden, things get a little louder, and things move a little faster, you know, and, you know, the first time somebody run up on you that you don't know, but they acting like they know you their whole life, you know, how scary is it being put in that light like that fast?
I'm going to speak on that. This noble. From me personally, you know, I'm still not used to it. You know, I remember the first time, you know, where I actually, I was in L.A., and I had just left the movies with my girl. We was in and stopped at 7-Eleven to get some blunts or something, and it was a car full of Mexican dudes, man. It might have been like 7 of them, and they all hopped out the car, gang banged up, tattoos up. I got my thing on my waist, you know what I mean? But one of the dudes was like, Noble, and I'm looking like, oh shit, this is about to be a problem. And guess what? All of them ran over to me and started asking me for my autograph and just basically saluting the shit out of us. You know what I mean? And it was like, for that second, I'm like, nigga said my name. I'm like, how the fuck will you know me from? I'm thinking it's some extra shit. I'm not even thinking I'm a rapper and motherfuckers listening to my music. You know what I mean? So I'm still not really used to it. Even now. You know what I mean? Because we all humble and we all regular dudes, man. We don't walk around like we on some rapper shit, man. We out in these streets doing what we do every day. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. But, yeah, fame is a motherfucker, man.
Anybody else want to chime in on that?
Just easy talking. For me, fame is really not a scary thing, especially if you've been, it's like when you know what your destiny is and what you meant to be here for, you can handle whatever come with it. The ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the trials, the tribulations. So it ain't nothing that you never really get used to. If, you know what I mean? If you're a humble person, but scary, nah, it ain't scary at all. It's just something that you got to deal with. It come with the territory.
Definitely come with the territory.
All right. Now, tell us about the album. Who's on the album besides the Outlawz, and what went into creating the album?
And on the album right now, we got Lloyd, we got Scarface, the great Scarface, we got Tech Nine, we got Crazy Bone, we got Young Buck, Zero and Trader Truth on one song together. Tony Williams, and a few more people.
Tony Williams that was working with Kanye?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we got some up-and-coming cats, some known cats that you might change to have the camera and not know, but they're gonna be, huge in the future. And I feel like on this album we going together young talent mixed with some older talent, and that's right. We're putting it all together.
Now, why is this the last roundup? Like, okay, let's say this album.
Go ahead, we listening.
Let's say this album comes out and is well received. You still gonna stick with it that this is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What a better way to go out, you know what I mean? Because really, as of right now, the type of music we doing is really not that appreciated on a mainstream level. You know what I mean? So it's hard for us to get to the people that need it the most. You know what I mean? Because this type of music is almost shunned in the industry. Whenever you got something to say, people kind of want to put you in that category of the preachy artist or the political artist or whatever. But we really just a combination of everything. The streets, you know what I mean, the positivity, you know what I mean, it's ghetto gospel. So we got a little bit of everything in our music. But if people don't appreciate it, why keep doing it? You know what I mean?
So then the question is, what's next for the Outlawz? Once the doors are closed and everything is shut down, what's next?
Well, you definitely, hear some solo music coming from the members. Even the members that's, not necessarily in the group right now, like Castro. You know what I mean? Shout out to Nutso, Outlawz still doing this thing. You know what I mean? So we all going to get on some solo shit for a minute. Some books, some movies, some scripts. You know what I mean? We all got extra talent that just want to tell you.
All right, I wish time. Now, let's close this out.
Man.
Okay. Finish off, and then next question we'll close it out good.
Nah, go ahead. We're waiting on you.
Okay. Now, if there was anything that you wanted the fans to know about the Outlawz and what they stand for, and I want each of you to answer this and say your name before you answer it. What on that tombstone of the group, you got a number, a dash, and another number. Beneath that, here lies the Outlawz. What did they stand for?
This is Noble speaking. I think we stand for hope, inspiration, and never giving up.
Edie, what you got?
Edie talking, I think we stand for, being a voice for the voiceless, you know what I mean? Being a voice of a generation. I think we represent our generation well. I also feel like you used the excellent compliment to, one of the greatest artists to ever come into this music game. You know, our story isn't finished. It doesn't end right here. It doesn't even end with perfect timing.
Fatal. Fatal, you there?
You might have got cut off, man.
Oh, all right. Well, is anybody else left that didn't answer?
Nope.
All right.
Hey, let me ask you something. Is this going to be an online interview, or is it?
Yes, it is.
Magazine? Can you add the album cover to the bottom of it with the track listing and the
Yeah, Ryder send me all that. Don't worry about that.
Perfect.
Ryder send me all of that. All right.
Well, we appreciate you, man.
All right, bro. Stay up, man, and stay safe. Looking forward to the album.
Thanks, bro. Stay blessed, man.